What up, y'all? Hey, so credit repair and business funding. That's very important. Very important. Credit repair and business funding. Whenever you're trying to get into real estate, it's very important. So I'm bringing on my friend, the same person that helped me get into get a business line of credit, get some business funding, so I can buy these properties with no money out of your own pocket. So it's very important for you to understand this. So I'm gonna bring her on. Let me make sure she coming. Hey. I'm trying to add you right now. I'm trying to add her right now, yo. She right here though. It keeps saying, "Do I want to add you?" Oh, okay. There we go.
Hey,
What's up, honey?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm well.
You good? All right, y'all. So this is the person who helped me get my business funding, and who can help you get your credit repair or whatever you wanted to get done. So, can you introduce yourself to him?
Hello, everyone. I am Monique Williams, CEO of All in One Financial and Consultant. We are a full suite accounting firm that specializes in small business tax preparation as well as tax resolution, credit restoration, and we also do what's called business funding capital, which that's helping you guys get funding for your small businesses.
Okay. How long you been doing this?
So I've been all over the place in my life. I actually started off doing credit first. So I started doing credit back in 2015. I launched a credit repair business. I failed epically on that. I wasn't. A lot of people don't know that about me too, y'all. But I wasn't consistent, and I still was focused on trying to balance a career as well as doing that business. So then I started again actually in 2021 where I started to focus more on taxes. I had been doing taxes since 2009. But to be honest, I used to hate doing taxes, but I was good at it. So I started doing taxes with the credit restoration, just started to network and meet people and see what the needs were, and started adding more things along the lines that, financial services.
Okay. So that's what's up. So we failed forward, we learn from our mistakes, and now we prospering, right?
Absolutely. You got to stay the course. It gets rough, and you get to the point where you be like, oh, I could just go back and get a job. That sounds much easier, less stress.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's what you have to do to survive, then that's what you have to do. But also in your business, you have to be consistent, and it's not going to happen overnight. And when I first started that credit repair business, oh, Lord Jesus, I thought it was going to happen quickly. I thought I was going to have all this support. I thought I was going to have all these family members rushing to me to get their credit repaired. And it didn't go like that. So I learned the hard way. Yeah. I got discouraged, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and get a job. Like, let me go back to the employment side. It was a lot less stressful over there. Mm-hmm. But my heart always been in this. Like, I've always wanted to be my own boss and, wanted to work for myself. So I just had to go back to the drawing board and figure out the right plan versus just trying to go out there.
All right. So for it's a lot of people that hit me up. They want to get into real estate. They don't know where to start. So can we start at the beginning? Like, what is credit? Like broke down into third grade level. What is credit?
So, I love that question right there, boy. I get real big on that one. So what is credit? Credit is honestly just a profile. So I'm going to start with the credit agencies. Credit agencies are all private-owned, for-profit businesses, just like you and I, Donald. They're not a part of any government entity like most people think they are. It's just a risk factor, risk management system. The 3 credit agencies. That's why I don't call them bureaus, because they're not bureaus. So your credit score is broken up into 5 different factors. That's your credit history, credit usage, or history is the same thing as usage. Your what is it? Let me go back to my little chart. 35, that's credit history. 30, that's DTI, that's the income. 30, what's the next one? I can't even remember. Credit history, that's the income ratio. Inquiries, credit age, and what's the last one? Credit usage.
Okay.
I think I said 30. I can't remember. 30, 35, 30, 30, 10, 10. That's how I remember it. Yeah, so that's what credit is.
Okay. So basically it's like a roadmap to how you doing in life with your money. Can we explain it like that, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's a risk factoring system. And what that means is they want to know how well you're doing as far as borrowing and lending. If you are going to pay back the money, it's pretty much a profile that lenders use to determine what risk factor you would present to them if you're going to pay back that money that they let you lend.
All right.
So I hope that explains it.
Yeah, it did. It broke it down. So what, for the person that be like, I don't need credit. I don't know what credit is. Why is credit important?
Credit is extremely important. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how wealthy you are. There is doors that you can't get into unless you have credit. Like, credit is the foundation to wealth building. Credit is the foundation to overall success in life. If you have good credit, like, there's really no reason you should be broke. You have to learn how to leverage that credit to get you some income producing assets, So, but credit is everything. And I know a lot of us were taught, we don't need credit. If you don't have it, you can't afford it. And I understand that to a certain point. I'm not saying go out and get great credit and get a whole bunch of debt, don't pay back the credit. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying use your credit to position yourself to be able to do more things, to be able to, get you some assets instead of just liabilities. I'm not saying go out there and just get your credit right. Go get a car, go get an expensive house that you can't afford. Use your credit to get you some income. like you did, Donald. Like you went out there, got your credit up, got you some properties. Your properties pay for your rent, so now you have assets and not liabilities. So credit is extremely important when it comes to wealth building. If you're not tapping into the credit game, you're probably not going to be wealthy unless you get inherited. You get an inheritance or something.
You can't get rich at a 9 to 5. You got to use some form of leverage to get ahead, and that's what credit is all about. Like using that credit to using other people's money to make money, right? So
Absolutely.
that's what I love to tell people about, like buying these assets. I know real estate is not for everybody, and
right.
and that's just the route I chose. I felt like that was good for me, but you know, you just got to get you some type of asset under your belt that can bring in some income, and you could use other people's money doing this. That's how you get ahead.
Right.
But
or even if you weren't going to use real estate, you even just in business in general, any type of business, using other people's money. That's how I know when I went out there that first time on my own, I didn't really have that other people money asset. I had to work, to grind, you know, spend my money. Thought it was like a flex to be able to pay for my own business. And it's not, and that's why a lot of businesses fail, because we're going into it. You're going to use some of your money. Don't get me wrong on that, but the way to go about it is to use other people's money, like you said, to be able to go to the bank, utilize and leverage your credit to get money to be able to set that foundation in your business. And then as you make the money, instead of you doing the hamster race of trying to hustle, grind, as you're making the money, then you're paying back the bank versus you trying to use your money to fund your lifestyle in your business, whatever business that you might be in.
Okay. So now we know what to do with it. We gonna buy income producing assets, but what if we don't have any credit? Like what if I never established credit? What do I do? Where do I start? What's the first step?
I would say start with one, humble yourself. Get rid of the ego. No, it's going to be a process. You know, don't think that it's going to happen overnight. I would start off by, if you have a family member, maybe you can get what's called piggybacking, where you utilize their credit. They put you on their credit cards, and that helps to build your credit. But a lot of us don't have those type of family members, and most of our family members might have bad credit themselves. Then you might want to start with some secure credit, where you're going to, whether it be a credit card company, your bank, or a financial institution, and you're utilizing your money as a down payment to be able to get access to credit. You might start off with some high interest rates. And I know a lot of people talk about interest, but when you have bad credit, you know, you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to start somewhere. So it might suck in the beginning, but it gets better. As your credit score gets better, then you can renegotiate those interest rates and you can get better terms. But I would first say start off, like, if you could pick it back off of somebody, do that. And if you can't do that, then go ahead and get you some secure credit cards. And then if you're in the Quad City area, I know Marine Credit Union, sorry, my throat getting dry, they offer what do they call it? Easy checking. What they'll give you, second chance checking is what it's called.
Okay.
What they'll give you, like a secure loan, and then you pay it back and they report it to your credit.
Okay. I'm in the Quad Cities, and I use Green State Credit Union. So Green State, I didn't walk in there with kids that's 18 years old that have a check stub that never had credit established, and with $50, you start you a banking account with $50, and they give you a credit card of $1,000. So that's one way I encourage, like, the people with no credit, who's never had credit in their life. That's how you get started. You just walk into your local credit union, and they all offer credit cards. So just starting you a bank account, that can get you some credit established. So then 2 months later, now you got a 700 credit score. But what do we say to the people whose credit is bad? Where do they go? What do they do?
So just to answer the comments or the questions in the comments, that was Marine Credit Union in Davenport. It's off of like 46th and Brady Street. And then they're asking about, that was a Green State Credit Union, is what Donald said. So Marine Credit Union, Green State Credit Union, Essential is a really good credit union. I would just say do your research, and it never hurts to call and ask if, even your bank, whatever bank you may go to, if they do what's called secure credit cards or secure checking or secure loans. So if you have bad credit and you want, you messed up, I've been there before. That's actually how I got into doing credit and learning how to repair credit before I was certified. Back in 2014, I had my twins that they just turned 9 today. And life got hard. I went from 2 kids to 4 kids, and them bills was deep. They were steep. So, I think I just had like a middle life crisis. Like I wasn't paying anything toward my credit, and I never had that before. Like I could always go anywhere, get a loan, get a car. And I went to the car lot. I got denied. My credit score was like 525. I didn't know what to do, right? But I didn't have no money because I have these new babies, and then I had 2 other kids already. So I started to learn about the credit laws, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that we could actually dispute things on our credit. And so that's how I got into credit restoration. And I would say if you have poor credit, you made some bad choices. 9 times out of 10, you have some inaccuracies on your credit report. So you can dispute them, whether they're yours or not. If they're inaccurate, you have the right under the Fair Credit Report Act to go ahead and dispute that stuff and get it off your credit report. So therefore, utilizing the dispute method, utilizing consumer law, you can go ahead and clean up your credit report. And a big thing that a lot of people don't know, whatever's reporting on your credit, whether it be good or bad, it's supposed to report consistently across all 3 credit agencies. If you go pull up your credit reports right now, I bet you're going to see a bunch of inconsistencies, but you didn't know what to look for because you didn't know what it was, right? But now you know better, you do better. So, and then another method I love is paying for delete. And that's where, if you owe the debt, because whether you get things deleted or not, you're responsible for that debt. But if you have small debts, like most credit reports that I see, they have minor debts, below $200, below $500. I would say go ahead and send out pay for delete letters. I posted a few on my page where you're asking, I'm going to pay you 40%, whatever this debt is, and you're going to delete it off my credit report completely. So you just got to educate yourself, learn your rights, because about us living in the great, United States, we all have rights, and just know what we can do to make our lives better.
Okay. All right. So if you don't have any, you put the good stuff on. If you have bad credit, you take the bad stuff off, and now you have credit where you can do different things. And one of the things that I like to do is get some business funding. Could you talk about that for a minute? Like all the steps to getting business funding, like what your credit need to be, what you need to do, like the steps for the people watching.
So for those self-employed or small business owner, first thing first, before you start thinking about any type of funding, credit, anything, your business need to be structured correctly. So everything needs to match. Your name needs to match at the Secretary of State, needs to be the same at the IRS. Everything needs to match. You can't have one name at one place, another name at another place. It just won't work like that. You need to set your business up like a real business. Like put your business on Google, get a business phone number, get a website, be serious about your business and what you're doing. Even if you don't have a website, get a landing page. It's different things you can do, right? Put your business in the 411 directly. And this is important, right? I always knew this because I teach this, right? But when I recently got a new line of business credit, the underwriter accidentally sent me an email thread that he sent to my banker where they had verified that my business was valid. So
they
I knew it, and I had to post that for you guys so y'all can see it. That was just recently, like a few weeks ago. And I was like, oh, okay, they're really checking up on me, right? So that's why that's important. You really don't think about it until situations like that happen. Then after you have your structure, your personal credit matters. You can do what's called a personal guarantee, or you can do 100% corporate financing. Personal guarantee is when they're using your personal credit score to give you the business credit. Now, it won't necessarily go on your personal credit, but they will utilize your score to see your credit worthiness and if they want to extend that line of credit for you. I personally like that route. Don't see nothing wrong with it. Some people don't like to do it that route. They want to do 100% corporate financing. And if you want to do that, then you need to have a corporation. And you also need to make sure, again, your business is structured correctly. You have your 2 years of tax returns, that you're showing profit on those tax returns. I know a lot of people go in business and they want to use the deductions to reduce their tax liability, and you're going about it, all wrong. You want to show, at least, most people don't know, you only need $2,500 in profit to get a $50K loan. That's not a bunch of money. So you don't even know that. And use depreciation over expenses. I always preach that. Depreciate. Don't expense everything out if you have the opportunity to depreciate. And that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. So 2 years of tax returns. You want to have some places, depending on where you're going and the amount you're asking for, they might want to see a balance sheet, profit and loss, and a cash flow statement. It depends on what type of business you're in is what they're going to ask for. And then knowing what type of funding you want. Do you want a revolving line of credit, which is similar to a credit card, but it's really like a checking account where they put the money in and you can use it over and over again, it just stays there. Do you want a term loan? Do you want equipment financing? Do you want a fixed term loan? There's just knowing what you're asking for is important. If you don't know what to ask for, seek some advice from somebody or get a consultation book with me, and I'll go ahead and give you that guidance. But there's a lot out there, and there's also lenders for people with less than perfect credit. So most traditional banks, they want to see you with like anywhere from a 640 or better. I've seen them do it with less if you had good revenue, if you had good income coming in, good cash flow. I've seen people get approved with as low as a 495 credit score. So, but most of the time they want your credit score to be a little higher, at least a 640. And then for those other programs like the SBA program, I don't know if I had talked to you about that one, Donald. There's a lot of like microloan lenders, CDICs. There's so many programs. I just dropped a live about that a couple days ago, and how to find those resources and how to find those like second chance lenders. Those are more like SBA programs that are geared towards specific groups, like minorities, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned business. There's programs out there. Your credit score only has to be 600 for those type of programs.
All right, but I think I'm on probation, and they said that you can't do that if you on probation or you been convicted of a felony or something like that. So I think that's why I steered away from that route.
But you can't apply for a waiver. So me, I should have been an attorney because I like to argue. So.
Let's argue. Let's get some money, man.
I like to argue. I'm gonna look for all the policies. Let me see the policies.
So I could
I'm gonna read the
apply
policies.
for a waiver, and
yes, you can. Yeah, depending on what your crime was and how long ago it was, what you've done, what you're doing now. They have to consider all of that. Yeah. So you gotta fight for your rights. I'm big on civil law, criminal law. Like I said, I like to argue. I like to.
All right.
I'm not using it.
I learned something new. Something new.
Yeah.
All right. So you said your company it is all in one. So it does credit repair. It can start your LLC, and you can get funding for people's LLC, right?
Yeah. So when I created the company, I thought about the individual, the business, and everybody in between. So yes, I will help you fix your credit, restore your credit. I will help you start your LLC, structure your LLC. If you start making more money, you want to do some tax planning, we can always go ahead and transition it from an LLC to other corporations to reduce your tax liability. I will help you manage your books, teach you how to manage your books. Like, I really want you to be successful as an individual in a business, and I will also help you budget. So, you know, a lot of times I get clients and they want to do all these things, but they're just not quite ready. So sometimes we have to go back to the basis of you got to learn how to budget your money before you get any money. Because if you go out and you get a lot of money from these banks, if you don't know how to spend it right, you just going to blow it off.
Mm-hmm.
We think that with the PPP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got to learn how to get the money, keep the money, and reinvest the money. That's the whole goal. Get the money, keep reinvesting the money into your business to generate more assets.
All right. So how can the people find you?
So I am easy to find. All-in-one-financial-and-consulting.com. I'm on all social media outlets: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. And then if you just search my name, Monique Williams, with the EA behind it, that's for enrolled agent, and that's just my license that I like to go by. I'm licensed with the Internal Revenue Service as an enrolled agent. That just means I'm an expert in tax resolution, tax preparation, tax law. So.
All right, well, that's what's up. Okay, so we went over a lot. Hopefully we helping people. We connected you with them. Is there anything else you want them to know?
Just keep watching Donald, watching myself. We both do live educational videos. I watch his videos. I read his books. Watch my videos, and keep learning and going as you can, and asking questions and putting yourself in the right room with the right people, and just getting involved. Whether you started a business or you're already in business, put yourself in the network of the right people. That's really how you're gonna grow and how you're gonna prosper and how you're gonna learn more.
All right. So just for everybody watching, I did deal with her, and she actually helped me get the business funding. So everybody you see on my platform gonna be the people that actually helped me get into the position that I'm in. So that's why I'm sharing this with y'all. But I don't know if you want to answer some of their questions.
Let me see. Let me go through. I can't really see.
Can you raise capital for an LLC?
So let's talk about startups. I did do a long live video about that the other day. There is programs out there for business startups. But I just want you guys to know that when you start a business, you do have to put forth some of your money. You're gonna have some organizational costs. That's like actually registering the LLC, doing the research, all that good stuff, organizational costs. That's gonna be on you. But about 6 months in, there is programs out there that will help you with a startup loan. But you still have to have at least a 600 credit score. You still need to have 2 years of your own tax returns filed. And it's important, like I'm going to post on my page or in the comments what I told you guys from that bank. Because not only did they verify my company, but they verified that my tax returns were correct. So you want to go to a reputable, credible professional, because you don't think that stuff matters. And I really never thought it did until they accidentally sent me that email thread. So, yeah, and I posted that was literally like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I don't think they meant to send this to me, but thank you. So, yeah, there is programs out there. I know the state of Iowa has a program. The city of Davenport has a program for businesses, business startup. They also have mentorships. You can go with the SCORE Mentor. I don't know if you did that, Donald, but I did.
Yeah. That's how I met Teresa and Andy whenever I did that last live through SCORE. So okay. I was trying to start my business, and they helped me. Like it's really resources out here that's gonna help you. You just got to take advantage of them. And so I
also did it's called the Small Business Development Center with Joel Youngs, and I know I've had a few clients go with him and didn't like what he was saying, but that man is a very successful man, and he's had run very successful businesses. You always don't get the answer you want. Like in business, it's a tough world out here. You know, only the strong survives. So just remain a student, be open-minded, and they're not saying it to be mean. It's more so realistic. So, you know, be open-minded to what those people are telling you that's been out here in the game for a while. They're not trying to crush your dreams. They're trying to help you to really understand the language of business.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. It was a guy that asked that if all of this is relevant in another country. I think he just posted, is it relevant in Canada and stuff like that? Have you dealt with outside of this country or what?
On a tax level, I can definitely do some research and then come back to you on that. I do know a lot of it is relevant because, in the U.S. we have a lot of foreign businesses. So if you're doing business in the U.S. or we're doing business with you, then you definitely have to understand the treaties amongst us. So some of it is very much relevant, but I'm not sure if other companies utilize credit scores or credit risk ratings. I'm sure they probably use something similar. They're just not handing out money, because that would just be crazy. I could go live where y'all at.
Yeah.
If that's the case. So I'm sure, but I could definitely do some research and then come back for that. You see any other questions on there?
No, I didn't see no more.
Okay. And then I'll also say be patient, and this is something you can speak to also, Donna, when you was going through your process to get your funding. It took forever, didn't it?
It took a while. I had to call them like, hey, you didn't approve my application, did you? Like,
yeah,
it
took forever.
Yeah, but they came through. And one thing about it is, don't be scared to go in that bank and ask. I walked in there, I did it on. You do everything online, but I walked in there and I asked for 100,000 just because, like, to see what they say. If they tell you no, they're gonna tell you exactly why. They told me no, we won't give you 100. Here go 10. Right. I said thank you. So you know what I mean? But just go in there and ask for what you can ask for. See what they're gonna say. If they tell you no, they're gonna be like, you need 2 more years on your job. Your debt to income ratio is too high. Whatever it may be, they're gonna tell you.
They're gonna tell you.
You just work on that. You know.
You just work. And also think outside the box, and that's something I've learned because I've relocated and I've run my business in several different states. And since I've been out here in the South, when I was up north in the Midwest, I was doing all my business with the banks that were up north. Mm-hmm. But there's no law saying you can't go get money from banks in other states.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a way you can think about getting more money. Like if you really have goals, for myself, I told you that I wanted to get into real estate investing. So I need to know who out there can give me more money, because I'm like, I want the 100K. Yeah. I want the 200K. Yeah. I want it all. So I'm going to go do my research on different banks in different states and understanding what's going on around me. For example, it's much different here in the South. Credit scores are much lower. So therefore, you can access more funding if you have a higher credit score. Like the average credit score out here is 540.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So for me, I'm like, this is.
And they give her money with that?
And they give her money. Like, it's easy to get it. So that's something I just learned just from my own personal experience, and I never thought about it like that. Like how I could go from different places to get different things.
Okay. So Morrison asked, how important is a W-2 job for credit if your small business ain't making much revenue?
I would say it's important because you wanna show revenue. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you want, how good your credit is, you have to have the income to support what you're asking for. Mm-hmm. So it's extremely important if you're not making enough money to go ahead and try to compensate with some W-2 income, or maybe, add on an additional side hustle, do some Uber driving, Uber Eats, do some Grubhub or something like that to show some more income.
Okay. So with those people that's doing Uber Eats and stuff, if they filing like that 1099s instead of W-2s, mm-hmm. Can they go into bank and get funded with a Uber job?
So I would say it's a little bit more challenging, but I'm not going to say it's impossible, because you can completely turn that Uber job into a full-on transportation job. There's no rule saying that you can't go from driving food to driving, people doing Medicaid driving. There's so much you can do with that. So absolutely it's possible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All of this was real helpful. I hope we can help some people. I hope they reach out to you, and maybe we can do another live soon.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, I'm down for it. Well, it was nice seeing you all. Reach out to me, add me on Facebook, send me a message, book on my website. All my bookings directly online. And yeah, I'll get you taken care of.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I definitely will be reaching out to you, because that that gem that you just dropped about the South, I'm gonna have to execute on it. I like executing on new information. So
yes, yes, like, for sure. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.